Hi, I'm Pastor Shauen Trump. I'm the Area Director for Eastern and Southern Africa for the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod. My responsibilities include overseeing LCMS work, relationships, partnerships, missionaries, and projects from Ethiopia to South Africa. I was born in Northern California, and when I was about 6 years old, we moved up to the Seattle area where I went to school, grade school and high school. I went to college at Seattle Pacific University and earned a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering. I worked for a few years in industry there in Seattle, and then my company moved me out to North Carolina. And shortly after that, I headed to the seminary in St. Louis. I knew since high school that I'd be heading to the seminary eventually. It just took me a little bit of time to get there. Once I got there, I applied into the missionary formation program at the end of my first year and was accepted, and we were given a deferred vicarage, so we did 3 years of schooling altogether, and then our vicarage assignment was to Uganda. In Uganda, I was working with lay leaders of the church who were serving congregations where there was no pastor. When we arrived in Uganda, there was one pastor in the whole church body for 60 congregations, so a lot of churches were led by laity. The class that I got to teach in Uganda brought many of those lay leaders into Kampala once a month for a course, and then I would often travel back home with them and be a part of their services that Sunday. It was a great opportunity in Uganda to work with the people, to teach, to be a part of their lives, to worship with them, to celebrate with them. And as my vicarage came to a conclusion, we accepted a call to serve then in Kenya and Tanzania, right next to Uganda, as a mission facilitator. We were based in Nairobi, where we are today, and I was working in these two countries with church leaders in very different kind of capacities than in Uganda. We had a partner church here in Kenya, and we had a number of fairly large Lutheran churches that we worked with in Tanzania, and a small one. So quite a bit of variety in the work in this part of the world. I served in Kenya and Tanzania as mission facilitator for 4 years before we accepted the call to serve as an area director for Eastern and Southern Africa. As area director for Eastern and Southern Africa, I oversee the LCMS work from Ethiopia to South Africa, including the island nation of Madagascar. It's an area about the size of the United States. When people ask what I do, I try to explain it in 3 parts. The first part is encouraging, discipling, and walking alongside our church partners. We have some of the absolute largest Lutheran bodies in the world here in this part of Africa, and also some of the smallest. And each of them has their own needs. Each of them has their own infrastructure. Each of them has their own ways of organizing themselves. And each of them wants to walk with us in some particular way. So, encouraging, walking alongside, discipling each of those church partners however they ask. The next big part of my work is word and sacrament ministry. I love to preach in congregations as a guest preacher. I love to be in a place where they've not had a pastoral visit for some time and see the joy and the celebration in their lives when they celebrate Holy Communion, when they have people lined up for baptism. I love to get soaking wet baptizing so many people at once. And then the ministry of presence. It's being with people, it's sitting with people, it's spending time with people. Here in Africa, that part of my work is especially important. It's important all the time. Life is short here, life is fleeting. You may not see someone again when you say goodbye. So being together with people is very important to them in their lives. And really, it's something that Jesus himself did very well. So it's a joy for me that it's part of my ministry. My wife, Krista, and I have 3 wonderful sons. They were born around the world, actually. Josiah, who's 6, was born in Kampala, Uganda. Elijah, who's 4, was born in Nairobi, Kenya. And Isaiah, who's 2, was born in Milwaukee. We live here with our family in Nairobi, and Nairobi is a really great place to live. It's a cosmopolitan city. There's a huge UN headquarters here. There's a lot of embassies here. We live in a house with running water, electricity, and internet access. And that's a great place for my family to be when I'm traveling, when I'm away in various parts of Africa or in the United States. When people hear about what God's doing here and the work that we get to be involved with, a lot of times they want to be a part of it. You can be a part of this work too. You can pray for us, you can encourage us, you can financially support us, connect with us. Encouraging us is one of the most important things that you can do. It's one of the things that keeps us on the field. You can send me an email. My email address is shauen.trump@lcmsintl.org. Visit our website, thetrumps.org. Look at our blog on that website and see what we're up to, see what we're doing. receive our newsletter. You can sign up for our newsletter in your email inbox every month through our website. Look at our page on the LCMS website, lcms.org/Trump. Come and be a part of our lives and let us know that you're praying for us. Those words of encouragement are far more important than you may realize. God is doing amazing things in Africa, and it is an amazing opportunity for us to be a part of it. Despite the challenges, the joys are overwhelming. Being with people in baptism, being with people as they struggle with the growth of their church, being here in a place where traditional family values are held in high esteem, where relationships are important. This is a joyful place to be, a great place to raise our kids. For as long as God will have us here, our prayer is that we can continue in this work.